In this box right here, we have Eonon's new X6S series for the 2010 to 2013 Mazda 3 and MazdaSpeed 3. This X6S series is replacing the A12S series. We got some new hardware upgrades, a few new features, and hopefully just a faster and better unit than last year. Today, we're gonna be unboxing this. I'm gonna show you how to wire it up to your car. I'm gonna be comparing it to last year's model. I'm also gonna show you how to wire up your backup camera. I'm gonna be going through the whole unit to make sure that you're making the right decision for your car. Eonon's always got banging deals, but if you guys use code CR10 at checkout, you can save yourself a little bit of extra money. I'll have all the links in the description for you to buy below, Amazon, on their website, and eBay as well. Let's go ahead and unbox this Eonon unit and see what's inside, and we'll go ahead and compare tech specs to our last generation. Here is the head unit itself. They've included the A0125 backup camera. We have all our wiring harness and everything we need to plug in and have our factory plugs all right here in this bag. Everything that you get in the box, plus some instructions and what each wire means with a nice user manual. Go ahead and take our screen out here. Very nice dash replacement screen. Doesn't look like it has changed at all from the previous model, but I don't think they need to change it. This looks perfect to me. So here's how this model stacks up compared to last year. We're still on the Android 13 operating system. This one is an 8-core, 6-nanometer CPU, way more efficient than last year's generation. 6 gigabytes of RAM with 64 gigabytes onboard storage. This offers wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The equalizer provides 48 bands of adjustment, which is insane. You also get 9 presets as well. We're upgrading to Wi-Fi 6 versus Wi-Fi 5 in the last generation. We're upgrading also to Bluetooth 5.1, which is gonna be huge for the Eonon models from previous situations. People haven't really been too stoked on the Bluetooth, so I think the 5.1 is gonna make this unit so much better. And we also have RCA optical and coaxial plugins for our speaker system. Overall, this unit is gonna be more efficient. It's gonna provide us more power, a lot faster than our previous unit. So without further ado, let's go show you how to wire this into your car and see how it compares to the last gen. We're gonna start by taking our old head unit out. You're gonna need a trim popping tool. Let's pretend this is your factory radio. You're gonna take this trim popping tool and get in between here. Once you've done that, you can kind of just pop up on this, get your little hands in there and just a good yank and basically do exactly what I just did. Now on top right here, you can see you have one screw and you're gonna have another screw over here. Go ahead and take both of these screws out. With that being said, your unit's gonna pull straight out. The factory units might be in here a little bit tougher. You're just gonna grab it from the top on both ends. I recommend using 2 hands and just giving it a good pull. Now, once you've pulled your unit out, you're gonna have a bunch of wiring. It might be a little bit more tough. I'm gonna kind of show you what you need to unplug here. You're gonna have your main harness. Go ahead and you can unplug that. Just like so. You're also probably gonna have your radio wire, which just pops right out. You're gonna have a plug that looks like this. Go ahead and unplug that from the back of your radio. And then you're gonna have this little guy too. Don't forget about him. Just push it on the side here, pop that out. You can take your old radio out here and you won't be needing that anymore. So here we have the main wiring harness. From what I can see, there are 3 pins that we're gonna need to plug in to the back just from the main harness alone, plus the power as well. So we're gonna start with that. We can go ahead and take our radio, plug that in over here. Next up, we have one of the bigger plugs. Make sure that's nice and tight in there. Another round of plugs over here. This one's gonna go on the far end. This has to do with, looks like our rear audio. We're gonna plug this one. We're gonna plug this on in right here. Good to go. So now that we plugged in our main plugs here, we have a USB CarPlay Android Auto, which you can plug into one of these. Also have just a regular USB, which you'll plug into one of these. We have your 4G bar, which you'll plug in right in this corner. You have your GPS, which you can plug in right here. And then you also have the external microphone. Your external microphone will just plug in to this harness. With that being said, your harness is pretty much ready to go. We now just need to plug it in to the car's factory harness. Now to wire up the rear view camera, this is what it's gonna look like. You have your rear view camera, it comes off here. You have this other harness. You have two plugs. You'll plug these into each other. You're gonna run this wire all the way up to the radio in the car, and all you need to do is plug this. This harness right here has your backup camera input. gonna wire your 12-volt for backup camera to this red wire off the wiring harness. Once you plug this into this, and this yellow into the backup camera input, that's all you need to do. You don't need to attach these wires to anything. That is the beauty of the Eonon radio. Everything is already technically pre-wired, and that is how you would install your backup camera. So now we have the mess here. We're gonna go ahead and wire this up. We're gonna start with our main harness. You see, we have our main harness right here, and then we have the main harness from the car. We can now go ahead, take these two, and you can plug those into each other. That might be a little stiff, so don't worry, you're not probably gonna break anything. You can go ahead and plug those in. Next up, we have this, what I believe is our antenna cable. We can grab our antenna plug and go ahead and mate these. Next up, I have this plug as well with all these audio in cables. I'm gonna plug into this back plug just like that. Now, I don't need to plug these in. I believe these are for an external option, or these might be for your Bose. Either way, if you don't need these, just plug it in anyway, please. And I can just tuck that in the back. And then on the side here, you can also see I've put my backup camera input in. Don't forget to plug your red wire in as well. That being said, your wiring harness is complete. We can go ahead and put this back in the car and just make sure everything works. Having this out right now also gives you the opportunity to run any USB cables out and about and anywhere around your car, down the center console that you might want, maybe through the side. That is your opportunity to do that. Run your GPS, run your external microphone, your 4G bar, whatever you need. So as we turn the key on, here we have our beautiful new Eonon. We can see it is plugged in. We have a new home screen, all these apps and stuff that we can play with. But with this new screen in, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together, and then we can review all the features that this new screen has to provide for us. All you need to do is tuck all your wires into the back. This will kind of go into place, pop somewhat in. Feel free to take these screws and just tighten them down real good. We can pop this down and around, and then it just kind of pushes. And then we have our new clean Eonon install. We can go ahead and start playing with this and seeing all the new features. First thing I want to get over is the OEM functions that you still have. Obviously our Bose OEM audio still works. You guys can't see it, but if I look at this, no hands, I'm touching my steering wheel controls. And this is so much more responsive than the previous generation. I actually might use my steering wheel controls now. This is incredible. Down actually goes down and up goes up. This was always wrong before. This is fixed. This is amazing. This is definitely a selling feature for me. Just so you guys can see, I'm not fooling around. Look at this. Super responsive. It's awesome. Our screens still work up here and those aren't affected, so all our OEM functions are still working, which is awesome. So obviously this thing's supposed to be a little bit more efficient and faster. We have that 8-core processor, the 6 gigabytes of RAM, and the 64 gigabytes on storage. So if you're kind of one of those people that like to customize your car and do stuff, this is kind of your unit. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. We have some new menus, some new interfaces. This is already really snappy, I'm not gonna lie, compared to our recent unit. This is very, very touch sensitive. I feel like I can bang around in this pretty quick. Our swipe is a lot more responsive. I think that processor is really, really kicking in here. I mean, I'm really interested to see how the Apple CarPlay works in this. Before we get into that CarPlay, I want to review some stuff like our EQ. EQ here, it's just the DSP app. You can see all this customization. I mean, you got 1 page, 2 page, 3 page. Look at all this. This is insane. You audio heads are gonna love this. Not only do you have all of this, but you also have 48 watts of power going to your new speakers. This is gonna be sounding a lot better than your factory units. Already a big plus. I love the audio that was coming out of the old one. I'm really stoked to tune in my audio with this. I mean, you have all these different options to go through and just play around and see what you like the most. Looks like we have different wallpapers here if we kind of swipe through them. I'm sure there's a way to kind of add your own if you really want to do through USB or whatnot. You can see in our settings here, we have a lot of things going on. Again, the wallpapers, you can choose from different wallpapers, and you can change around your light settings right here. So if you have a specific theme in the car, for example, red, but you can also do white, you can change around, make all these different colors. But now since we've kind of gone through everything, I mean, there's so much to play around with. If you guys are really an Android user, you can download probably games on here, play games. You can go on Google, you can watch my YouTube videos. But here is our big test, and like, I think our most important part here is our wireless Apple CarPlay. I'm gonna go ahead and set up our Bluetooth device. I am now paired on the Eonon, and as you can see, it is throwing me straight into Apple CarPlay and has loaded up. So here we are on the Apple CarPlay screen. If you never used Apple CarPlay before, it's pretty cool. You can customize things around how you like. We have our Spotify messages, all that stuff. Now the real test is, how does this operate? Let's find out. So Eonon still has that just little bit of delay there when we're swiping. Let's pop into Spotify, see if we can fly around our menus. Spotify feels pretty tight here. This is actually a lot more impressive than it usually is. Normally Spotify is actually really slow. Let's hop into maps, kind of dragging around. You know, it's still got that little bit of delay. I'd really like to see Eonon kind of dial in that delay, kind of feel like Apple CarPlay is a little snappier, but this isn't a bad point. You're not really using Apple CarPlay when you're driving, and if you do, you just kind of like, you take your time. It's not actually that bad. You know, if you need to put in something to your maps or anything, you can use Siri. It is really responsive that way as well. But it is nice to have our wireless Apple CarPlay on the Eonon stereo. And with that being said, that is our, you know, device. If you guys plug in your GPS, you guys can use Google Maps as well if you don't want to use Apple CarPlay. There's so many different ways to customize this unit through your settings and all that. It's so hard to go through all of the options, but it's all there for you guys to play around with. It looks like we can add some things on our home menu, which is really neat. For example, Apple CarPlay is now right here, and we can just hold down to delete that. So what do you guys think about this unit? Does it, I mean, this is just crazy. It hasn't been this responsive on any of the previous units in our home screen. Like I said, Apple CarPlay could definitely use that upgrade, but here we have it. And I also wanted to show you the reverse camera function. If I go ahead and put the car in reverse, it automatically brings up the rear camera. I pop that off and it's back to our home screen. Really neat OEM features and functions without having to do extra wiring. Like I said, I am really most stoked about these steering wheel controls being as responsive as they are. I think that just is the selling point for me. That is our new Eonon stereo for today. So honestly, like I said, I'm pretty stoked with this unit and excited to get using it. If you guys have any questions or comments, please put them down in the comments below. And other than that, if you guys want to pick it up yourself, I'll leave the links in the description below, and make sure to use that discount code CR10 for a little bit extra off. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, comment down below. Other than that, keep it real. I'll see y'all in the next one.